It is time for doubleheader baseball at the University of Tampa. Hi, everybody. Jack Ike along with Taylor Stolworthy, and the Spartans will get ready to play Nova Southeastern Sunshine State Conference baseball. First game coming up in minutes, and the second game about 40 minutes after this one. Spartans won yesterday 3-1. Pretty good pitchers duel. C.J. Williams going 8 innings for the Spartans, and Jacob Fletcher coming in and picking up the save in the ninth. Spartans still holding on to first place in the Sunshine State Conference. They are ranked number 2 in the nation. They are 11-2 in conference play, as Florida Southern giving chase though at 10-3. Spartans are 27-6 overall on the season. Nova Southeastern, with the loss yesterday, falls to 7-6 in conference play. They are now in 4th place in the conference. They are 14-14 overall. So, Taylor, it is going to be another hot day here in Tampa. This is unusually warm. I know nobody's feeling sorry for us, but this is unusually warm for this time of year in Tampa, and they're saying it's about 15 to 20 degrees hotter than normal. It's only supposed to be in the upper 70s, maybe the low 80s. It's topped off at 94 yesterday. Every day in April so far, we have set an all-time high for Tampa.
Yeah, and even though it's already 89 degrees, which is, again, a really good high temperature on its own, the real feel is 97.
Okay.
It is like we are playing in the dog days of summer right now at U Tampa. And granted, it's like that around the entirety of the South U.S. Temperatures over the last tons of years have been climbing throughout these times of years, and it's up to the players to deal with it. You know, sometimes Tampa likes to wear the dark uniforms, but both teams wisely wearing uniforms that won't be too conductive to the suns. Although Tampa does have dark hats that might heat up a little bit, although someone looking to heat up for the Spartans is Skylar Gonzalez.
Yeah, and it's he did pick up his first loss of his career at Tampa last week at Florida Southern. Talking about the heat, it is a turf field. You said the feels like is about 97, probably in the hundreds on the field.
That'll make sliding and making diving plays a little bit trickier for these players.
Leading off the game is going to be number 22, Justin Wax, and he is a senior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. On the mound for Tampa, Skylar Gonzalez. We are underway. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch, call strike. Righty to lefty. Ground ball hit foul. The starting lineup for Nova Southeastern. Wax is leading off. Second will be number 25. 25 is Xavier Maranta, and he is from Miramar, Florida. We added it up yesterday. 2/3 of this roster, almost 3/4 of this roster, is from the Miami area. Ground ball heading out to Urso at short. Quick throw to Russo. 1 up, 1 down. Batting third is number 1, and that is Roylan Quevedo. He is a junior from Miami, Florida. Batting fourth is number 6, Ty Torty. He is a junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, one of the ones who came down from the north to get away and play baseball in the Miami area. At the plate now is Maranta. Swing and a miss. Batting fifth is number 44, and that is Gabriel Esquivel, and he is a grad student from Doral, Florida. Batting sixth is number 28. That is Jack Q, and he is from Southwest. And a quick one right to Russo. He has played well defensively. He's kept a lot of throws from getting away, and he fields his position well when they hit it at him. 2 up, 2 down, couple quick outs. Batting seventh is number 7, and that is Zeth Rodriguez, a senior from Spring Hill, Florida. Batting eighth is number 35, Boris Pena. Pena is from Miami, a ground ball to Urso. And the first inning is over before I even get through the lineup. I'll get you number 9. It's number 34, and that is Nick Rodriguez from Miami, Florida. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of the first.
Campus. You'll find the McDonald's
Back a little earlier so I can get the lineups in. Bottom of the first we go, no score. Tampa coming to bat. The Tampa starting lineup will start with Jordan Williams, number 19, as everything seems to go through him these days. He is a grad student from Odessa, Florida, by way of Florida State. 49 stolen bases on the year. The school record is 52. Didn't get any attempts yesterday, so we'll see what happens in the doubleheader today. Batting second is number 10, Nico Saladino, a senior from Valrico, Florida. Batting third is number 11, J.D. Urso, a grad student from Tampa, Florida. Batting fourth is number 2, Braden Woodburn, a junior from Winter Springs, Florida. Batting fifth is number 73, Lenny Ashby, a senior from Aruba. Batting sixth is number 14, the catcher, Santiago Garavito, a senior from Plantation, Florida. Batting seventh is number 5, Kevin Karstetter, a senior from State College, Pennsylvania. Batting eighth is number 33, Cole Russo. He is a senior from Tampa, Florida. And batting ninth is number 41, Maddox King from Tampa, Florida. On the mound is Caroli for Nova Southeastern.
Yeah, Caroli's had a good season so far. He's been, I think, slowly ramping up his pitches, getting back into the rotation after missing 2024 with injury. But he is a strikeout specialist with 25 over 13 innings.
Popped up behind the plate, goes out of play. So 2 strikes now on Williams.
Caroli had his best outing last time against Palm Beach Atlantic, striking out 5 over 4 scoreless innings, and beforehand struck out 7 against Rollins in 3 shutout innings with 1 hit allowed.
So an 0-2 pitch from Caroli coming up. Williams waits. High outside.
I think it'll be curious to see, Jack, whether Caroli stays in that opening role, maybe goes 3 to 4 innings, is out at 60 pitches, or if he does a really good job against the Spartans, he gets his first potential quality starter 5-6 inning outing of the year.
1-2 pitch. Ball high outside as well. Yesterday, Gonzalez, pitching for Nova Southeastern, had a good outing as well. But he took a hard luck loss in that game.
Yeah, it's good when you can prevent too many runs, but against the Spartans' defense, you pretty much have to be flawless.
2-2 pitch. And he's put 3 up and out of the zone, and it's now a full count.
He's hoping to get another strikeout, hoping to get Williams to chase. Williams has had some good plate discipline this year. 23 bases on balls or hit by pitches combined.
I call him the automatic double if he gets on. And I think he got a walk. Yeah, 4-pitch walk, or 4 balls after going ahead 0-2. So he will get on, and this is the first time this weekend he has gotten on base with nobody ahead of him. So we'll see how long it takes. Usually the logical choice is first pitch.
Might as well. I would not be surprised if Caroli wanted to do a pickoff throw.
Yeah, just remind them we know what you can do and that you're there. Takes a pretty good lead. There he goes. Ball is high, and he's going to make that one easily. Throw was high. The pitch was high. The throw was way to the shortstop side of the base. That's stolen base number 50 on the season. I think he'd have made that on a good throw because catcher had to go up and get that one.
Yeah, Saladino sort of got in the way there by showing bunt against Rodriguez. But now I wonder, with Torti kind of playing in, do you send Williams again? Because I think there's
possibility, yeah, because or get Saladino to put the bunt down, and that'll move Williams auto easily if he puts it to third base. He's playing in and offered. Did he offer?
I think he pulled back just in time.
Back, yeah.
But that's what's really good for Saladino. He's sort of setting up with the bunt. He's forcing Esquivel and Torti to sort of play in. So that actually gives Williams a chance to potentially run, and the third baseman wouldn't be able to cover the bag in time.
And again, they go back. And again, a throw high, and pulling it down is Quevedo.
He's got to be careful, though. If he misses Quevedo on a throw, Williams gets the third for free. I don't think he'd score if he slides into the base, but if he stayed on his feet, he'd probably make it home.
2-0 pitch. Pretty good lead. Trying to hold him on. Ball outside. So after starting the game with 2 straight strikes to Jordan Williams, we've now seen 7 straight balls. Walked Williams, and now 3-0 on Saladino. Urso on deck. Saladino probably taking all the way here. Shows bunt. There's the strike.
Yeah, you knew that was going to be down the middle. Saladino will get to see if he can maybe force a walk on the next pitch. Maybe he might try to swing away, try to catch the defense off guard.
Playing in at the corners. 3-1. And that walked him. That came dangerously close to... Now, okay, that one bounced away from the catcher. And first base had to come over and get it. Esquivel.
And Quevedo was watching Williams. He saw the ball bounce away. He almost tried to make it to third, but he ultimately decides to head back safely.
And we've got a mound visit already. I don't know if they saw something from Caroli that maybe he's not tweaked something. Took his mitt off, holding it.
Yeah, the bullpen's empty, so this would be a emergency change if they had to, because of course this is the third batter. You have to face. I think we have a 3-batter limit in NCAA play, so you wouldn't be able to pull him unless he was injured. And it's good that Crowley isn't injured. He had missed 2024 due to injury, but I think here it's just kind of lost touch of command a little bit.
Yeah, back-to-back walks to open a game. Not, I'm stating the obvious, but not your ideal start.
Yeah, and it really stings to do it against Saladino because he didn't have to swing. He just showed bunt 5 times.
Now, Quevedo at short was holding Williams on. Now they move it around to Rodriguez, the second baseman, trying to hold him on. Urso shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's a ball.
Good idea to go with the slider there. He's been sitting fastball for the most part, Crowley, so far. So it's kind of the expect that, you're going to try to put a fastball in the zone. Urso could have chased and hit it. That time he would have swung at a slider, but instead pulled back for ball 1.
1-0 pitch. Looks like it's down the middle. The umpire agrees. 1-1. Third base now back even with the bag, even a little bit further back from there. First base still in. And the 1-1 pitch. There goes Williams. Inside, they go to second. I think they've got the runner there. Yeah, they do. Williams gets third, but Saladino was thrown out. Good throw from Rodriguez behind the plate.
I think that'll still count for Williams' 51st steal. No, I think that'll be a fielder's choice.
Okay.
So I believe he'll still be at 50, but treat that as a sacrifice, if you will, almost. Saladino has been good in the base path. That's just the second time he's been caught this year on 6 attempts.
2-1 to Urso now. Ball high. Rodriguez tried to bring it in. Sometimes it's not worth the attempt to bring it in. 3-1, so he's gone 3 balls on every batter he's faced today. And the pitch. Popped up, giving chase out of play, though. You look at the ballpark here, the foul territory, compared to what you'll see in Major League ballparks. They give you a lot of room here going down the line.
They certainly do, and even though Tampa's bullpen is off the field, sort of behind the fence, they still have that space where their bullpen would be in foul territory to give you plenty of room to get there.
Full count, 3-2, man on third. Urso waits. Here's the pitch. And that one is hit out into center field. At best, we'll get a tag up. There's the tag. Here comes Williams. They're going to try to throw to the plate, and he slides way ahead of it. Second out, but an RBI for J.D. Urso, and the Spartans lead 1-0.
Yeah, that one bounced off the mound. It wasn't going to be in time. Williams was going to be safe, but it was on a good trajectory to home plate until it hit the side and rolls to the dugout.
So Braden Woodburn now, the cleanup hitter, comes to the plate. Spartans on top, 1-0. Striking first. Now the bases are empty. Woodburn waits. Off speed, just missing. A little bit of cloud cover today. Yesterday, not a cloud in the sky for the night game. It really baked it, but it didn't get dark till about 8 o'clock, so they were baking for a couple hours. Again, off speed, this time inside, catching the corner, 1-1.
Yeah, I think the useful thing for today is that these clouds might help cool down the field a little bit, limit the impact of the sun. But I think with the clouds, it's also a bit more humid, which is not what you want to see on a hot day like this.
Pick your poison, huh? Fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I know I always personally prefer low humidity in these days, although conversely, then you've got the dry heat banging down, and for fielders that are standing out in the open, that's not super ideal.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Caroli rocks and fires. Ball high, 2-2. If you watch Caroli's delivery with nobody on out of the windup, he kind of rocks a couple times. It's like the first time you think he's going to throw, and then he doesn't. A little rock there, and now he fires. Swing and a miss will end the inning. Spartans do pick up a run on no hits. Couple walks help the runners move around. Sac fly brought him in. We played 1. It's 1-0.
From a large collection of books, periodicals.
Top of the second inning we go. For Nova Southeastern, it will be Torty, Esquivel, and Q. 4, 5, 6 hitters against Skylar Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a 7-pitch first inning.
That's a quick start. It's hard to keep that pace of play up, but he'd certainly like to coax a few more ground balls this time around.
That one just missing outside. Yesterday, C.J. Williams actually started the 9th inning. He had 8 full, gave up a solid base hit on the first batter, so they took him out. Fletcher and Stefiuk coming in.
That's a pretty reliable duo to bring in from the bullpen. The 2 highest leverage arms, you could say, behind Alfonso.
And Fletcher started on Tuesday against Valdosta State, coming in as a reliever. I know you mentioned that's plenty of time to get the arm back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Torty waits, foul, no, hits it down the line. It's going to be a tough throw for Karstetter. Cross the line, and wow, nice throw. That one just kind of was dribbling its way toward third base. He picked that one up behind the base. Solid throw, got it to Russo for the out.
Yeah, I know throughout his entire time at Tampa, we always mentioned how good of an arm Anthony Russo had. Well, Karstetter, we haven't seen any downgrade in defense since Russo's departure, because Karstetter's been incredible with the glove and his arm throughout 2025, and I think that's just a great play to sum up how his defense has been all year long.
Swing and a miss. And we heard Anthony Nunez has been moved up to Brooklyn which is high A. So congrats to him. We got to see him play down here last year against the Clearwater Threshers. Off speed, nice couple of pitches there to start off for Torty.
I do wonder if eventually Anthony will get the call up to Binghamton and potentially face off against Hayden Irby, former Spartan, who's recently moved to the Erie Seawolves via trade from the Rays to the Tigers.
And there were a couple guys down in the Spartan dugout saying that was a good trade. They liked that, what it could do for Hayden. Missing outside, 2-2.
I think it would certainly be cool come season's end, maybe if the Tigers need a couple extra pitchers. You see their playoff rotation of Skubal, Flaherty, Irby.
2-2. Goes outside, so got ahead 0-2, now 3-2.
Great plate discipline here from Esquivel. Has had a lot of strikeouts this season, but also tied for third in walks with 11.
Full count pitch. Ground ball, that is just foul.
Williams has a good arm in left field. That would have been a comfortable double, and depending on the speed, potentially a triple if that was fair. Although that might have been an interesting play at third base with Williams' arm out there.
That's a pretty short throw for somebody to try third. If it's down the right field line, maybe an automatic triple.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch again. Gonzalez rocks and fires. Just missed outside. Leadoff walk.
You know what they say about leadoff walks?
I've heard rumors.
Things here and there.
They tend to score more often than any other way to get on base. Just not as much as coaches lead you to believe.
I think the Sharks would love it if it did yield a run right here, though.
It did for the Spartans. Strike call on Esquivel. Out of the stretch, Gonzalez. Short lead at first. That one's hit up the middle, gets through for a base hit. Does he try to go to three? Yes, he does. A good throw might get him. The throw got him. I called that before the umpire did.
Yeah, it was a close tag because there was a perfect throw from King. I wasn't 100% sure if Carstetter got the glove down on the runner in time, but Esquivel's out as a single. Does keep a base runner aboard for the Sharks, but I think the right decision would have been to keep him on first and second.
I was surprised to see him go because he was kind of just cruising around second base. He wasn't sprinting. And then the ball, King was coming in, so he had all his momentum. So kind of a surprise to see him go. Again, it was going to take a good throw to get him, but that was a good throw.
I think it was the wrong move there to sort of underestimate the defensive strength of the Spartans' outfield. Because King's been very good at center field. Williams very good in left field, and Ashby pretty good in right field. That's been a pretty often shuffled position between players like Villegas, Valdez, and
Valdez started yesterday. That one's popped up. Garavito right on home plate, throws the mask away, catches it to end the inning. So nice way to get out of this inning. Good pitching by Gonzalez. We played 1.5. Spartans up 1-0, and they will send to the plate Ashby, Garavito, Carstetter.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative.
As long as it's open, which I think it will be.
Okay. Lenny Ashby to the plate for the Spartans, number 73. Came in as a pinch hitter yesterday, and they walked him immediately. They just said, go to first. Didn't even see a pitch.
Yeah, I think they definitely were in the mindset of, this guy's got to be good if he's coming off the bench, so.
Well, they had runners at second and third, so they wanted to load the bases up. So they just said, go there. And they actually got out of the inning.
You know, I kind of understand it, though. It's a very smart play, especially in a close game. Get a force out at home, and worst case scenario is just have an extra base runner to worry about.
Yes. Ashby comes in with a 256 average. He and Valdez tend to flip-flop in right field. He's the highest hitting of the duo. Valdez at 220. Spartan batting average was 301 yesterday. It's 299 today because, as I mentioned, quite the pitcher's duel yesterday. Ball pops down in front of the catcher.
Yeah, Tampa's offense has been a little weaker than it was last year, but still pretty good. I mean, when you have a 400 on base and 450 slugging, that's a good season for a good offense.
I remember last year we were joking that you could be a 318 hitter and you'd be below average.
Yeah, although being a 298 hitter and below average is still pretty good for a team offense.
Definitely.
And it's bad news for Saladino, who's hitting 277, 432, 398. He's below the Spartan average by 22 points. A couple outs for Garavito would send him below the average, too.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Ashby waits. Fouls it back. Around the conference yesterday, Spartans got the win. Actually, Tampa was the only home team to pick up a win yesterday, as Florida Southern kept pace with Tampa with a 16-3 win at St. Leo. Berry a 4-3 win at Rollins, and Palm Beach Atlantic a 3-2 winner at Lynn. Nice curveball, doesn't come in though, and we're full. Those matchups are all playing doubleheaders today. A couple of them already underway starting at noon.
Yeah, always fun to see Sunshine State Conference teams in action outside of Tampa. Florida Southern's been having a great year, and I think at this stage, it's the Mocs and Spartans regional hosting bids to lose, as both teams in the D2 top 10.
Okay, we got another leadoff walk. Ashby to first. It's like, don't they want me to hit? First they walked me without even pitching to me yesterday. Now it took 6.
Yeah, Ashby and Valdez kind of two different sort of sides of the coin. Valdez better at hitting for power. Ashby better at getting on base.
Brings up Garavito, the catcher. Irigoyen started yesterday. Kind of like you see with the pitching. You got 1A, 1B. Same with catching. Looks to bunt, pulls it back, calls strike. Puts third base on alert to maybe get ready to come in, though he isn't cheating in too much.
Garavito isn't far behind Irigoyen. Actually matches a ton of his batting numbers, like the 400 on base percentage.
Strike 2 call. Garavito did not show bunt on that one.
Good frame by Rodriguez there. I think he might have stole that strike because it looked just outside. He pulled it right into the zone.
Into the stretch. Ashby with a short lead. Now extends it a little bit. And he goes. Ball's high. They throw down to first as he came back. Able to slide back before the tag.
He's kind of trying to bait some of those throws over. Esquivel not holding first base directly. Now he is, because he was getting ready for potential bunts by Garavito before.
1-2. Ashby goes this time for sure. Swing and a miss for the strikeout, and they let Ashby take the base.
That's his 4th stolen base of the year for Rodriguez. Yeah, the strikeout, didn't need to risk the throw.
Yep. And the way they were playing it because they weren't reacting much. I thought, did he foul that? Fell tip it down? But no. It was a strikeout, and they just let Ashby take the base. So man on second with one out, and to the plate is Karstetter. Ball hops away. Ashby's going to go to third. They're going to try the throw. No, he stands up, and he's now on third base with one out.
That's one thing to know about this Tampa team. They do not shy away from being aggressive on the base path. We saw Williams get his 50th stolen base. We saw the stolen base attempt go wrong for Saladino. And we've seen Ashby now get from first to third thanks to some aggression on the stolen base and a wild pitch. And a balk is going to bring him home.
Really? There you go. Wow.
So he was able to get into Caroli's head by being so aggressive on the base path, causes him to slip up, and thanks to just winning a full count battle, Tampa's now brought a second run home.
So a walk, a stolen base, a pass ball, and a balk. That's a manufactured run.
Yeah. That's how you get every single base 4 different ways.
Karstetter pops it up, foul out of play. Karstetter comes in at .324 on the year.
And when you have a player like Karstetter batting in 7th,
yeah, I know.
That's why we're a number 2 team in the nation right now. It's because we can afford to have players like Karstetter, who, apart from Florida Southern, would probably be 3 or 4 in every
That's a
single
fair
team.
ball. That's down the line. That's going to be at least 2. Into the corner to pick it up is Maranta, and standing up with a double, Kevin Karstetter, and the Spartans have another runner in scoring position.
First hit for you, Tampa, coming from Karstetter. But
2-0 lead, and there's your first hit.
Exactly. Good to get it right here. Not that we needed it, already up by 2, but
so again,
good to have.
Leadoff walks have resulted in both the runs. Leadoff walk, stolen base to second, and then see what it takes to get him in from there.
That's going to send Cater Rabaugh out to the bullpen, too.
This is Cole Russo, first baseman. First pitch. Call strike. Russo at .272 on the year. This is at bat 104 if it becomes official. That one's hit out into left field, going back. Now still going back. He lost it. That one's gone. That one just kept going past Maranta. And a home run for Cole Russo gets the Spartans up even more. 4th home run of the year and a 4-0 Spartan lead.
He guessed that he was going to get a strike from Caroli. Caroli not wanting to fall behind against him. And Russo made him pay, taking that the opposite way.
Maranta gave chase for a while, then kind of threw his arm up in the air with his glove hand. And I thought, does he have a chance? And it went over the fence. Little mound visit here with Rodriguez. So the Spartans, 2 runs with no hits. Now they've picked up 2 more runs on 2 more hits. And both hits have been extra base hits.
Yeah, the Karstetter double, and now the Russo 2-run shot. With that, Russo is now tied for second with Williams with 4 home runs on the year for the Spartan lead. Russo still leads the way for you, Tampa.
Maddox King, who had a nice play, defensive play last inning. Looks at an off-speed curve, strike 1.
Caroli's fastball's got a lot of zip to it. It's really good when you've got a slow curve / slider like his to pair with it. Generated a couple of swings so far.
Another off-speed, strike 2. King wants to step out for a second. Just a sophomore. Got a lot of playing time last year. Now pretty much a fixture in center field. Local product. Ball in the dirt, blocked. Tampa has a fair amount of players from Tampa, but not as many as Nova Southeastern has Miami players.
Yeah, looking up and down the roster, I mean, half the roster comes from Miami, and
We had it up yesterday, and it was 2/3.
And even more come from the areas close to Miami.
Well, EJ made me count. He told me if it was considered Miami, so it wasn't exactly Miami. It was, Hialeah.
Exactly.
And a few of the other ones. He told me I had to count them.
And there's a good Hialeah representation across the board, too.
Yeah, there was.
So, yeah, a very Florida-heavy roster.
But you know what? There's really good baseball in Florida.
Certainly is. Sunshine State Conference, one of the best in the nation.
Jordan Williams at the plate now. Walked and scored, puts a bunt down, fouls it.
That's why Jordan Williams is so dangerous. Not only is he incredible at power hitting, he's got 10 doubles just behind Villegas for the most this year for you, Tampa. He can also just bunt it and just beat out the throw to first.
Mm-hmm. And even though Torty is, he's playing even with the bag, he gets down a good bunt, and he's there easily. Trying to cheat. Little off-speed pitch, stays outside. 1-1.
By the way, for Williams' stolen base numbers, for qualified batters who have had 100 at-bats this season, Williams has the most across all NCAA levels from D1, D2, and D3 this year.
Not surprising. You look at Nova Southeastern's numbers, and they have, we looked up yesterday, they have 21 stolen bases as a team.
Yeah, there's not always too many super aggressive stolen base teams. Some of them are, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Williams awaits. Ball high, 2-2. The fun thing about Joe Urso's teams is he adjusts every year. He's had some really powerful hitting teams, and he's had some teams where he plays small ball, bunts them across, steals bases. This is kind of a bunting, move them forward, stolen base kind of team. Oh, Williams goes down swinging to end the inning. Spartans pick up 3 more here in the bottom of the second. We've played 2, and it's 4-0 Tampa on top.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. Guest lectures.
Third inning, 4-0 now, Tampa on top. Taylor, on Tuesday we had the Spartans playing Valdosta State, and we noticed common opponent is Spartans were going to play Nova Southeastern this week, and Valdosta State had played Nova Southeastern earlier in the season and beat them badly twice, 18-4 and 18-10. And their sports information director said, yeah, we just clubbed them all over the place. So I thought yesterday maybe we'd see some high-scoring baseball, and we end up with 3-1 game.
Yeah, today, though, might be a little bit different. 4-0 lead already for the Spartans. Although scoring on the other end for the Sharks could be difficult against the player formerly known as the invincible ace, Skylar Gonzalez. The Mocs and their high-powered offense finally put that first loss of his career with the Spartans in the L column. as he starts the inning
Wow.
with a 3-pitch
3
strikeout.
pitches. Didn't even budge.
But it looks like Schuyler's very confident today, and that's a very good sign, especially when you have an offense that scored 4 times on 2 hits.
That helps you. That's the first strikeout recorded by Gonzalez. And it brings Rodriguez, the number 9 hitter, to the plate. He just keeps pounding the strike zone.
That's the Gonzalez style. He's always been more pitch to contact. Doesn't strike out too many, but still has the stuff to escape some tough situations. And he's not too walk prone either.
That's going to fall in for a hit right in front of Jordan Williams. He fields it on a hop and tosses it in. So a 1-out base hit. We go to the top of the order, and Wax to the plate.
Yeah, Wax has had a very good season. 618 slugging, 508 on base, 392 average, 27 RBI. He's winning 2 of the 3 Triple Crown stat lines for his team. He's also tied for the lead with 4 home runs.
He's a versatile player, top of the order, one of the top hitters in the conference.
This is a conference that has a ton of good batting.
Ground ball foul.
Notably, Wax also gets hit by a ton of pitches. 15 this season.
Wow.
He leads Nova by a comfortable margin. He's the only player that's gotten hit 10 times for the Sharks.
So about every other game, he's taking one.
And conversely, he's only had 9 walks alongside that.
Rather get hit than walk, huh?
Yeah, apparently. You do notice he is pretty close to the plate.
Yeah, he's got 1 foot, back foot up in the box. Strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This is where you'd love to have a changeup because it's just low and away. It's the perfect remedy for when you're facing a batter like Wax who loves to stand in close to limit the inside offerings.
And speak of the devil, Wax gets hit off the hip.
Yeah, went to the slider, was hoping to get him the chase. I think it was maybe looking to go low and inside, kind of how DeGrom loves to throw against left-handed batters, but just curved in a bit inside, and just because it misses by a little, Wax able to take it on the thigh.
So Maranta, the number 2 hitter in the lineup, has 2 men on, 1 out. Spartans up 4-0. Tap foul.
Maranta is the second best power bat on the team. The Sharks are the very sabermetric lineup construction, putting their 2 strongest bats up front to try to give them the most chances to succeed. 4 home runs, 20 RBI, and a .604 slugging percentage.
Little dancing at second base by Wax. The pitch blocked. It gets away. Runners will move up now, second and third. That one hopped in front of Garavito and got away, and far enough away that both runners move up.
Yeah, you don't like to see that if you're the Spartans. He had the double play opportunity, but still a 4-run lead. Even if there's a sac fly, the Spartans not in a terrible situation here.
1-1. That is hit deep. Curving foul, I think, near the line. Wow, that was about 10 feet foul, but way up high. Straightens that out just a little, and it's a 4-3 game, but it stays 4-0. Pretty strong wind blowing right to left in the ballpark, so will blow anything potentially fair. If you get it up into left field, it might carry it out of the park.
Yeah, Tampa's got some dangerous right-handed batters, so keep an eye out for that.
Foul back.
And we saw Russo, probably the wind helped him pull it the other way, or push it the other way. That time I think the wind might have helped that Maranta foul ball look a little bit closer to staying fair.
Yeah, it tried to blow it into the field.
It looked like coming off the bat it was going to go comfortably foul, though. But it was going to be close.
And he tries another one. That is deep into right center field, back toward the wall. And it's off the wall. Couple runs score. And a double by Maranta. I couldn't tell if I thought that one was going to hit above the line, but it didn't. Ends up being a 2-run double, and it's a 4-2 game. Maranta really was looking for the long ball that at bat.
You know, the only benefit is that it landed just a few feet shy of a home run. Mm-hmm. It scores 2 for Nova Southeastern. And if it was a ground rule double, would have been the same result. Both runs score. Maranta stays at second, so no change with the umpire saying that it didn't go over the fence. It did look like it hit off the yellow on that bounce.
So now 4-2, and Quevedo to the plate. 1 out. And the pitch. Down the middle, strike call, 1-1. Gonzalez will look back and fires. Fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Important for Gonzalez to get ahead in the count here. Looking for an out to get back on track, and getting ahead quickly is going to help him out with that.
Check swing. He did not offer. Two balls, 2 strikes now. The pitch. Ground ball. Russo takes it on a hop, has to toss it to Gonzalez. Runner moves to third, but now 2 outs. Torty now coming to the plate.
Torty's been pretty good in limited appearances. 333, 476, 479 slash line in 19 games and 13 starts.
A little bit inside. By the way, this is not the only game in town, as the women's NCAA Final Four going on at Amalie Arena. UConn, South Carolina will play in the title game tomorrow. Down the middle, but low.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. You've got South Carolina, who's been a very dominant team over the recent few years.
They're looking for back-to-back, right?
Yeah, and Coach Dawn Staley has really emerged as currently the best coach in D2 basketball, and she faces off against, from me, a Connecticut native, the GOAT,
yes.
Gino Auriemma, and UConn. So very exciting duo, and I think even though UConn's a 2 seed, you always got to treat them as a 1 seed for the NCAA tournament for women's and sometimes men's too.
2 seed, 1 seed, they kind of mix. Down the middle, strike call on the 3-0 pitch.
If you're ever filling out a women's bracket, UConn and South Carolina in the finals, always a safe bet.
Not a bad, yeah.
I mean, there's a 90% chance that one of those 2 teams is going to make it, and this year, both of them did.
3-1. Inside, another walk. Uncharacteristic for the walk. Just the second of the game, though. So now runners at first and third, tying run actually on first. And Esquivel. But first, Sam Militello for a mound visit.
Militello, of course, a Spartan legend himself. The 22 is out there in center field as a retired number. I've got a 22 jersey, actually, of Sam Militello I sometimes bring to the booth. Tom always mentions, hey, Sam's here, whenever I wear it. Whether it's for lacrosse, softball, or baseball. And speaking of lacrosse, Tampa's also going to be featuring later today. Don't think the Bruce will be loose, unfortunately, for that game.
Really?
Actually, it might be. No, Tampa's on the road against Lynn.
Okay.
But Tampa's also on the road for women's lacrosse against Florida Tech. Baseball is the only home series for the weekend, apart from beach volleyball.
Saw that going on when I pulled in.
Yeah, Tampa consistently one of the better AVCA small schools for beach volleyball. They don't have, I think, the D2, D1 split.
Right.
Tampa takes on a ton of D1 teams and usually holds their weight pretty well against them. They usually end up in the loss column, but again, it is a D1, D2 gap.
So Esquivel waits with runner on first, goes. That's a shot. Karstetter has it. He's going to take the throw to Russo to end the inning. So they tried to manufacture something, but Karstetter with the good mitt. They do pick up a couple. It's now a 4-2 game as we head to the bottom of the third. Tampa.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do...
Yes. Bottom of the third we go. Tampa on top 4-2 as Nova Southeastern cuts into the lead, halves the lead, and a new pitcher coming in for Nova Southeastern as they bring in Robaugh. Cater Robaugh to pitch.
And Robaugh is going to try to go the distance. He is a command specialist, 16 strikeouts and just 1 walk this year. Only problem is that whenever the ball is put in play, it's usually getting down, a .397 batting average against. So you don't normally see a high ERA when you've got a 16-1 strikeout to walk ratio, but the 11.08 speaks otherwise. 11.08 ERA speaks otherwise. However, he's in, I think, for a long relief stint to try to keep the Sharks still in the game.
Nico Saladino to lead off for Tampa. He walked and then got thrown out at second, back in the first. Fouls that one off.
Yeah, looking at the line score, you can see the command issues plaguing Caroli throughout his 2-inning outing. 3 free passes. That brings home 4 runs on just 2 hits.
Fouled back again. One ball, 2 strikes. Robaugh fires. Low. 2-2. Two pitch on the way. Fly ball heading out towards center field. Is it going to drop? It does not. Coming in is Q to make the catch.
Good hustle by Q to get to it. There for Saladino. I think he would have rather had a little less oomph behind it for it to maybe drop for a blooper.
So J.D. Urso to the plate. Flew out to center in the first inning and brought home the first run of the game. Jordan Williams was on third, tagged and scored. Rubau doing some adjustments. And the pitch. Ball high. And that one is blooped out towards second base, but just backing up is Rodriguez to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down.
After your offense is able to get those 2 runs on the board, you want to have a shutdown inning on the mound, and that's exactly how Rabaugh has started. By the way, it's Rabaugh on the mound, new pitcher.
Back on the mound.
23.
A little bit of a wait. Home plate umpire went out to halfway to first base, making a note of something. Now he's standing in front of the plate. I guess he's going to dust it off. Gives me a chance to mention that behind home plate is Shannon Jurrigan, and at first base is Casey Sanchez. Ball. 2 outs, nobody on. Braden Woodburn at the plate, struck out his first time up. Ground ball, does it go up the middle? Stopped by Rodriguez. The throw ends the inning. Nice play, ranging behind second base, throwing away from the base, but got it there in time. So the Spartans go 3 up, 3 down. We played 3 full. It's 4-2, Tampa on top.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th.
Top of the 4th inning we go. Spartans on top 4-2 to take you through 4, 5, and 6. I turn it over to Taylor with the lead.
We'll see if we can hold on to it. 4-2 Spartan advantage. Q, Rodriguez, Pena due up as we get underway for the brand new frame. Thank you for joining us on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Doubleheader between the Spartans and Sharks. First pitch from Gonzalez. Ball 1 missing outside. Q singled back in the second. The Sharks couldn't muster anything, although they did score twice in the third. Here comes the 1-0. That's a strike right down the middle from Gonzalez, 1-1. Had been undefeated over 20-plus games in his Spartans career before last weekend. But the Mocs, in a high-scoring affair, gave Schuyler his first defeat of his Spartans tenure. Last year it finished with a 16-0 record.
Wow.
That one's high, that one's far, and that one's foul.
That was a rainmaker.
And
it
it
was so high. Did it clear?
It did. It cleared the net all the way behind the bullpen, I think.
No, it was almost down the line. There's about a 100-foot fence that goes around this ballpark to keep balls from going onto the road and into the dorms and things like that. And that one was way down the line and cleared the fence.
Yeah, that one clear over the fence right by the foul pole. And that's going to miss for ball 2. And that's going to be one of the train tracks. And I see a few students or people walking by. I bet they'll see that foul ball from Q. 2-2 from Schuyler now. Hit sharply to Urso. And it's 1 away.
Yesterday, right about this time, all of a sudden we heard a screeching of tires and a crash, and everybody on the left side of the stands got up, and there was an accident at some Cypress and North Boulevard intersecting there, and a car made a left-hand turn, and a car coming from the other direction didn't have a chance to stop.
I'm pretty sure Raj, who's running the show today, was able to go on the roof
He
to
did.
check out
Got
the
some
incident.
photos.
Hopefully the people involved were all right. That is a bit of a busy intersection.
It is, yeah.
I passed through it on the way to Tampa today. I was making the trip from sort of the middle of the state, and after getting some lunch, had to deal with that sort of intersection, turn right, roll over the train tracks, and make it to the garage as the count goes 1-1.
Now, we don't know who was at fault, because the left-hand turn, you might think he tried to cut. It might have been his arrow and the other person didn't stop, or he made a left-hand turn and shouldn't have.
It is a complicated place to turn, as that's a flyout directly to Maddox King for out number 2. And Rodriguez is going to be 0 for 2 today, although he did have a very nice play to end the previous inning. Here comes Pena, the designated hitter. Had a quick outing last time. Went down on 3 straight strikes. First pitch from Gonzalez to the 35. 1-0. But traffic a little bit quieter today here on Saturday.
We're hoping.
Yeah, there was a little bit of traffic.
That was rush hour, kind of, yesterday. It was after 6, but...
End of the work week Friday, always going to see some traffic, as that's foul. Another one well hit that could have gone yard.
That's about the third ball today that's been pretty well hit, but went foul. We've seen him go down left field and right field line.
That one would have been about 340 feet. If it was about 10 feet to the right, would have just slipped in front of the foul pole for a home run. That's going to miss outside, 2-1. I think it is kind of disappointing that the Rays didn't choose the Tampa field to play their 2025 MLB season at. But I do imagine the attendance would have definitely been the issue.
Yeah.
We can seat a couple hundred fans here at the Tampa field. I imagine it'll eventually be called Urso Field. Mm-hmm. But can't seat the 1,000+ that they're able to draw at Steinbrenner Stadium this year.
They can hold, what, about 12, 13?
That's going to be ball 4, 2-out walk for Pena. Third walk conceded by Gonzalez. And, yeah, it can hold over 10,000. Pretty good seating. It's the Tampa Tarpons home park usually for the Yankees.
I did like on April 1st that Tampa Baseball tweeted out that they and the Rays had come to an agreement on building a new stadium they would both share.
Yeah, unfortunately that was a April Fool's post, but
1st.
Yes. Would it be cool to see that happen? I imagine Tampa would have to be D1 for any chance of that to go through.
Yeah.
Runner's going to go to third. Throw from Ashby is not in time. It was also picked up at second base by Urso. Runners at the corners, a 2 away. Rodriguez gets his second hit to put the tying run on the base path. And now Gonzalez in a little bit of trouble here as we roll around to the top of the order. Wax with 2 on and 2 away. A chance for the Sharks to close the gap. Wax takes inside for strike one. Wax was hit by a pitch last time, a slider that drifted a little too far in.
Right after you pointed out that he
had
gets hit
15
a lot.
over the course of the season. That's more than any Spartan. Urso leads the way with 11 hit by pitches.
So why don't you look and see how many times he strikes out?
I have to see as he goes to a 2-strike count. 19 on the season. He's third behind Esquivel and Pena. A strikeout here would put him at double digit, or 20 strikeouts. He's already in the double digits. Woodgate Gonzalez out of the jam. 1 and 2. For Nova, they've had 200 on the year, make it 201 today. For Tampa, it's 201 on the year, make it 205 today. Even though he had a shaky start, Caroli did record 4 strikeouts. High. That one slipped away from Gonzalez. I think he wanted that to be in the shadow of the zone to try to get a whiff. 2-2. Runner staying put at first. Rodriguez has a chance to maybe steal again in scoring position. He's only 1 for 1 in stolen bases entering this year. That's going to be hit to Urso. Will be a close play at first. Throw is dropped by Russo. It took a bounce a little bit too far in front. It's a 4-3 game as the runner from third makes it safely. Was a difficult throw by Urso. Just didn't have enough strength behind it to make it to home plate. Urso knocks it in front of him to not allow the other runner to reach third.
Yeah, Urso really had to range toward the third base line, and then not a sharply hit ball. And by the time he got it, tried to put as much on it as he could, bounced it in front of Russo. And Russo had it bop out of his mitt.
9 times out of 10, you really would rather get the out at first. Maybe that time he should have gotten the out at second. Gonzalez makes the awkward catch on the flip by Russo, and the side is retired. 2 left on board. Nova Southeastern get 1 back, but it's still a 4-3 Spartans lead, and Tampa's got 5.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II champions.
Ashby leads off for the Spartans. Rabaugh stays on the mound for Nova Southeastern. 4-3 Spartans lead, but it's been the Nova offense recently heating up. First pitch to Ashby. He drew a walk to start the game. Ball 1. A hot day at U Tampa, hot and humid. Getting summer weather here at the start of spring. As the count goes 1-1.
They say Tuesday we'll get back to normal.
I will be looking forward to that for sure. as the count goes 1-1. And Ashby is going to get hit. Fastball drifting inside.
They don't want him to swing the bat.
They're worried that he's going to take it deep.
They walked him yesterday without even throwing him a pitch. They walked him to start this game.
Now they hit him.
For his first at bat. Now they hit him.
That'll bring up Garavito. 1 on, no one out for the Spartans. Don't think they'll have the power hitter bunt right here, but not a possibility for a U-Tampa team to try to just put the runner in scoring position. Garavito takes that to right field, but it's in play for Wax. 1 away.
Pretty good carry, but right in the track for Wax.
He also hit that into the wind.
Yeah.
Makes that a little trickier. Here comes Kevin Karstetter. I say it all year long, but Karstetter's such a strong batter. You love to have him at the 7 spot here with the runner aboard.
Doubled and scored last time.
This is a great situation for him as Ashby might get aggressive on the base path again. First pitch missing. That time, Rabaugh kind of shifting to a sidearm delivery. 1-0. He dropped a little bit lower on that offering. I don't know if he's going to go back to it. Actually, he has been with that awkward release. Blooper for Karstetter. That'll get down. Ashby's going to test the arm of the left fielder. Headed to third. Safe.
And alertly heading over to second base is Karstetter.
Smart base running for Karstetter. A single puts him at second and Ashby at third.
That was closer at third than I thought it was going to be. It blooped in there, and Ashby never broke stride. Thought he was going to have it easily, but actually they got the tag down, but he slid under it.
And Ashby got lucky that he didn't slip too far away from the bag either.
Slide past.
That would have been a big out number 2, although Tampa would have preserved a runner in scoring position from Karstetter.
Now Russo is being intentionally walked.
And he'd rather face Maddox King here. I like the decision from Nova Southeastern.
They want to load the bases, get a force anywhere with just 1 out.
I think notably they'd love a force at home plate.
Yes. Which they got yesterday in a similar situation when they walked Ashby.
It's a 1-run game. You might as well treat it as a tied game in a spot like this.
Yeah, you don't want to give Spartans any more runs.
Williams on deck. The switch hitter will likely bat lefty for that try. We'll see if he gets the bases loaded or not. First pitch missing to King, 1-0.
Nice eye there by Maddox, not getting too antsy to see if he could do something. They're playing him straight away.
Funny thing for Rabaugh, that intentional walk is only his second conceded of the season from the bullpen in period. Not just one intentional walk entering today, 1 walk in total.
He wants an asterisk next to that one.
He certainly does.
Not my fault.
2-0 count
Coach's
now.
decision.
There is some activity now at the Nova bullpen. Wonder how deep Rabaugh can go. His pitch count's still pretty low. Here comes the 2-0 to King.
Oh!
And
wow, that hit him on the shoulder.
Grazed him on the shoulder. A run will score, and it's 5-3 Spartans. King was able to avoid getting hit in the helmet, which would have been scary. But it did hit his shoulder en route to the glove for Rodriguez.
He pointed it out. Umpire had no trouble saying, you got it. So the Spartans have scored 2 runs in this game uniquely. One was on a balk with a man on third, and now a bases-loaded HBP.
Second time a Spartan got hit by a pitch this inning.
We know about Williams having his base-stealing prowess, but now he's got the power. Let's see what happens with the bases full.
He'd need a bases-clearing hit if he wants to get stolen base 51 and be 1 away from tying the record. Although for now, he's just going to try to score some runs, strike 1 in the outside corner.
Now you had, I think I missed the game, you had it didn't actually go down as a grand slam. It was like a bases clearing triple and a runner and then a bad throw or something?
I believe so. It was inside the park grand slam. I think it was from Karstetter, hit it down the line. And a bad relay throw allowed him to make it home.
So they called it not a grand slam.
No, it was a triple
with a throwing error.
Yep, triple with, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 base runners.
Thought you told me it was,
I think it was
a grand
4.
slam when it was happening.
Yeah, so I think it was indeed An inside the park grand slam. That counts as a triple. Hard pick up at second. Throw to first. It's a 4-6-3 double play. Rodriguez, Quevedo, and Esquivel get out of the jam to save the 2-run deficit and prevent it from getting any worse. It's hard for Williams to lose out on a double play ball like that. Hit it right to Rodriguez to set it up. Tampa scores on a hit by pitch, but 2 runners left on board on 1 run and 1.
There's a happen side by side. There's a place at the heart of a city where inspiration arrives in quiet moments and possibilities ring out in concert with our past. Where what comes next?
High fly ball in the very first pitch. How far is it going? Not very. Although it did clear the stadium again. Strike 1. Welcome back to you, Tampa. 0-1 count for Quevedo.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Quevedo grounded out to short and grounded out to first. Previous at-bats. And this time he's going to send it back to Russo. Flip to Gonzalez. 1 away. Gonzalez has an extra run of support now, thanks to the Spartans bringing home a run on a hit by pitch. And now headed to the plate is Torty, the junior. Here comes the first offering. And with 1 away, this one's popped up and foul. There are a few kids over by the Spartans dugout watching in the stands. A couple of them gave chase to the foul ball. I think they might have themselves a souvenir. 0-1 to Torty. I think what Tampa should do is run a free concession gift if you get a foul ball type of program. Up the middle, Urso's there on the hop. And that's an easy out, number 2. Urso had a throw that went wayward earlier in the game. It was going to be a highlight play that just landed a few feet short. Skylar Gonzalez ready to go. Today he's been sitting around 84 to 87 miles an hour. Jack was able to go down to the pitch tracker and get me that information, as that's fouled. I know last season Nunez was topping the velocity charts at around 94 miles an hour. Alfonso's been sitting about 91 to 92 this year. Those are good velocities for D2. Swing and a miss going off speed. That one probably down at about 80 to 79 miles an hour from Gonzalez. And he's 1 strike away from retiring Esquivel. Ball 1. Good take by the first baseman. Hit foul. We'll go again. Ball 2, missing outside. The 2-2 popped up. That is going sky high. Urso trying to find it in the sun, and he comes up with it to end the inning. Gonzalez can't get his second strikeout of the game, but he doesn't need to. 5 3-run innings. His pitch count only at 72. Tampa will enter the bottom of the 5th.
There's a cultures. There is a place where people go shoulder to shoulder instead of head to head, where opportunity doesn't knock, it pounds, and the grind and the grand happen side by side. There is a place at the heart of a city where inspiration arrives in quiet moments and possibilities ring out in concert with our past.
It'll be Saladino getting ready to go at the plate. The Spartans and Sharks continuing action in the bottom of the 5th. It's been a good day for you, Tampa, and they're hoping that it'll continue. Saladino's 0 for 1. He's hoping for a better outing here. Had a flyout last time, walked in the first. Roboss stays in the game. You notice he's got a bit of a sidearm slot. He drops down low when he fires. That's going to miss for ball 1. Saladino's going to get under that one. Deep right field. There it goes. See ya. Solo shot for Saladino. And it's 6-3 Spartans. That is number 2 of the year for Saladino, and he crushed that to deep right field, hitting against the wind to extend the Tampa advantage. And now Urso with the bases empty, and a 3-run Spartans lead will take ball 1 outside. Urso's been incredible at getting extra base hits this year. 6 home runs, a team leading 4 triples, and 8 doubles. He's tied for 3rd in doubles, leads the way in triples, leads the way in home runs as the count goes 1-1. It's been a good return to Tampa for J.D. Urso, who's looking to get into coaching. I believe this summer he's going to be down in the Cape Cod League coaching one of those teams. Wonder if he might join Coach Joe's coaching staff next year, as he's going to hit a double into the gap. This will be number 7 of the year for Urso, and he's going to settle for a standing double. Runner in scoring position for Woodburn and the Spartans. Robaugh done a good job of not conceding too many hits in his first 2 innings. But now the balls are starting to drop for the Spartans, just their 5th hit of the ball game. A couple of fielding instructions from the bench for Nova Southeastern as Rodriguez and Robaugh talk it over, and a more active warm-up beginning for the Nova Southeastern bullpen. First of two games for Tampa today. They'll be taking on the Sharks in about 35 to 40 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. That will be a fun Game 2 matchup. I imagine it'll be Jake Stipp on the mound for the Spartans. Stipp had a complete game shutout earlier this season, as that's going to be strike one to Woodburn. One thing that's interesting to see is throughout college baseball, the the Southeastern Conference, or no, the Southwestern Conference, I had the number wrong, had the most swing and a miss, 0-2 as that goes, but the Southeastern Conference had the most runs per game on offense with 8.15. The reason I mention that is because Spartan legend Alex Caney, the last Spartan pitched off a complete game shutout, is currently pitching for Ole Miss in the SEC, and he's been a big part of the Ole Miss bullpen with a sub-2.5 ERA in a couple outings, being a part of the winning puzzle for Ole Miss's top 25 season. Wonder if Ole Miss could make their way to Omaha this year. Would be pretty cool to see a Spartan going from Cary to Omaha in back-to-back years. Here comes the 1-2 to Woodburn. Pickoff throw, runner is safe. It was Caney and Gonzalez as that lead duo for the Spartans last year. One-two on the way for Woodburn. A big chump by Urso. Trying to get in the pitcher's head as Woodburn checks for ball two. Woodburn's done a good job of kind of messing around on the base path. Or Urso's done a good job of it. 7 stolen bases this year. Carstetter and Villegas are tied for second with 10 on the year, and I think you can take a guess was the first for the Spartans. And was that a balk? He stepped into his motion, but turned back around in time. Actually, had Urso tripped up. I will say Rubaugh got lucky there. There was a lesser motion that I think brought home a Spartan run earlier on a balk call. That's outside, ball 3 for Woodburn. And it's clear that Urso's mind games on the base path are throwing off Rubaugh just a little, going from 1-2 to 3-2. Urso has not been afraid of stealing third this season. Done it on a handful of occasions. Ashby on deck. And Woodburn fouls that one back. We'll see if Ashby finally gets something to hit in this at-bat. The Sharks have intentionally walked him, given him the free pass, and hit him so far this weekend. Woodburn's going to put a second runner on the base path with no outs. And the outfield getting set for their shift for Ashby. The reason they're doing the shift is because he's a left-handed batter. They want to be ready in case he pulls the baseball. And they're also shifting the infield over. Rodriguez now deeply into the middle of first and second. No one looks to be aggressively holding the runners for now, though. Ashby gets the bunt down. Will he beat the throw? No, he's out by half a step, but he advances. Woodburn to second and Urso to third. Good pickup by Rubaugh. 2 in scoring position for Santiago Garavito. Garavito has recorded 6 RBIs this season. 4 of them came in one game back last weekend against, or 2 weekends ago against St. Leo, or it was, no, I think it was one of the Embry-Riddle games. Or no, it was Irigoyen with the 5 RBI game as Garavito fouls that away. I had my catchers confused for a moment as the count goes 0-1. Ball 1 missing outside. Robaugh gets set. Roll to third, and that is called foul. It barely goes out of play as it took a hop over Torty. That is unlucky for Garavito, as that would have scored both base runners. Would have been a huge hit for the Spartans. They'll have to go again on a 1-2 count with one away. That's going to be bloped. Foul. Second time a decently hit baseball just drifts away. Robaugh on the way with the 1-2. Almost gets away. Good block by Rodriguez. 2-2. That got behind. It would have scored Urso and brought Woodburn to third. Still a sac fly opportunity still right here. Fouled, still 2-2. Here comes the 2-2, and that misses him. Good dodge by Garavito. I thought that grazed him, but that's just going to bring the count full, keeping this wild at bat going. One more time, payoff pitch to Garavito. Carstetter on deck. Swing and a miss. Tipped actually foul. Barely got a piece of it. It looked like it completely whiffed. So, another payoff pitch on the way. Fouled back, still 3-2. Payoff pitch one more time. Robaugh inside, ball four. Trying to get a front door slider, but no one was home. Bases loaded for Kevin Carstetter. And with the bases full, it's a call to the pen. One away. Robaugh's day is done after 2 1/3. We'll be back with more action on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network when the pitching change is made.
Just another ordinary day at UT.
And we're back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Julian Hernandez enters the game from the bullpen. And, Jack, I know you got his numbers for the year.
Got some numbers, 4.35 ERA. He's 0-1 on the year. This is his 11th appearance, so second on the team for appearances this year. They've all been in relief. 10 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts. And he inherits the most unenviable of relief pitching opportunities.
Bases loaded, although a benefit is he does have one away. Tampa did leave bases loaded in the previous inning when a double play got the Sharks out of the jam with the bases loaded. 0-1 Karstetter now.
He's got a 2-for-2 day going.
Would love to keep it up. Tampa's up by 3. They wouldn't mind a few more coming home. Not sure if Gonzalez will try to have a quality start here or if Tampa starts the bullpen train here in the bottom or top of the 6th up next as the count goes 1-1. The bullpen move means that Rabah's day is done after 2 1/3. Solid for the first 2 innings, apart from the 1 run surrendered.
So he is responsible for every base runner, so that could affect his ledger.
Karstetter takes down low 2-1. And you hate to fall behind the count to a player like Karstetter. And on deck, someone even more dangerous, Cole Russo. Here comes the 2-1. Oh, high and away for ball 3.
Should I mention there's nowhere to put him?
I think you should.
Okay, there's nowhere to put him.
I wonder
Bases are full.
if maybe the lefty could have been the right call from the bullpen with Russo on deck. Because you'll have a righty on lefty matchup with the bases loaded if this one misses for ball 4. Let's see what it does. That's going to be fouled back and a full count now for Karstetter, but with 2 right-handers, I see why you just keep Hernandez to face the 2 righties instead of trying to get a lefty for the 1 at-bat platoon. Also not too many left-handers in the bullpen for Nova Southeastern. They've got Jack Clark, they've got Alexander Yenis, and they've also got Edwin Elisea, the 6'6" left-hander. High fly ball by Karstetter, but also a high foul ball. Did Elisea pitch yesterday?
No.
I'm interested to see if he takes the mound this weekend. Would love to see him in action. 6'6". That's pretty tall for D2.
Yeah.
And as a lefty, too.
Pretty tall in life.
You're not wrong. Full count, driven down the line. That is foul by a few feet. Stays 3-2.
You got Raj jumping on that one.
He was ready to cover it. Bases still loaded.
Raj is running our board here for us.
I didn't want to miss the one. There was one.
Another payoff pitch for the former Sun Devil. High fly ball. That can score a run on a sacrifice play. It'll take a good throw from Wax to end the inning. Picked up by Escobar. Runners at the corners. 7-3 Spartans lead. 2 away. And a useful sac fly for the Spartans to bring up Cole Russo.
Good piece of hitting there. And also you got to realize Hernandez, he gets a 3-2 count. He gets the 2 strikes on him. That's got to be really frustrating with the bases loaded, knowing he keeps fouling him off. You keep putting it in the zone. And how many times can you keep putting it in the zone and not get a strikeout or finally throwing that 4th ball?
Yeah, and that's the danger. I think you definitely concede the at-bat at some point if you were in a non-bases loaded situation and try to get a chase.
Mm-hmm.
But here you got to keep finding the zone. You don't want to give up the walk and run. You would rather the sacrifice run. Strike 1 to Russo. Russo went yard earlier today. That was his lone base hit as the count goes 0-1. So Russo and Saladino have showcased the power this year. 1-1, fastball missing away. Now, unlike the previous at-bat, there is a free base to work with. And that is second base.
It's 7-3 now, right?
It is.
Okay, scoreboard still showing 6. Our stat monitor showing 7.
You can catch up the stats all game long on Stat Broadcast. And to avoid the double steal, they're not going to throw out Garavito on the base path. And I wonder here if this is going to see, with a 2-1 count, them just give the walk to Russo. They intentionally walked him the last time they were in this situation. But with 1 strike, they are going to pitch to him. They shouldn't do what Tommy La Russa does and give you a 2-strike intentional walk.
Oh.
That happened a while back, and as the count goes 3-1, maybe they decide to concede the at-bat and give him the base. No, I think they're going to keep it going.
Did La Russa just not know the situation?
It was Trey Turner. There was it was like 1 on 7 or something. It was a move that followed up with a Max Muncy home run. So not a great call. As the count goes 3-2, full count to Russo. Given La Russa's prospect management, kind of hurting the run of Yerman Mercedes, you could say he didn't have a great farewell to his coaching career.
No, had a great coaching career for the most part. Oakland, St. Louis, Chicago, White Sox.
Russo absolutely nukes that one. That's going to head to the soccer field. No, actually, it's foul.
Wow.
But yeah, I was going to mention that was going to be sent to the soccer field, but unfortunately a little too far to the right. I'd love to see the exit velo data. Maybe we got to ask the stat people down in the front row if they were tracking the exit velo. Surely that's the hardest ball we've seen hit this season. And Russo's going to follow it up with a line drive into the gap. Going, over the left fielder. It'll clear the bases. Hopefully Moranta's all right. He took a hard landing on the turf by the wall. 2 RBI double for Cole Russo.
Yeah, Moranta jumped just before the ball hit the wall, and now that he's asking for the training staff to come out. He stayed down. Kind of came down on maybe his shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder or neck, that area, that is a very scary situation to land on. I think he's going to want to stay in the game. He's up and sort of walking around. Q's over there to check on him.
They had signaled to the benches, but nobody's coming out.
I assume that must mean Morana's waved them off. They can check him out once he gets back to the dugout to end the inning. Maybe it'll end in this Maddox King at bat. He was able to be hit by a pitch to bring home a run in his last at bat with the bases loaded. Bases aren't loaded this time, though. 2 runners have just scored, and there's a runner at second.
This is kind of a typical Spartan game. 9 runs, 6 hits. It's rare that they have more hits than runs. They just find so many ways to get on and in.
And what's really impressive is that they haven't even gotten on with an error. The Sharks' defense has been good today.
Mm-hmm.
They've just drawn a ton of free passes, a ton of walks. In total, 6 of them.
Yeah, back-to-back walks to start the game didn't help.
That's what gave them their first run of the game. And by the time the second was underway, they were up with a 2-0 scoreline. They did break up the no-hit bid eventually, a.k.a. the very next batter. And Max King could score another. That's going to drop in front of center field. Here comes Russo. Q's throw will just prevent the double. An RBI single for Maddox King at 10-3 Spartans.
Double digits.
And it's 10 runs on 7 hits for Tampa. Tampa had over a dozen 10-run games last year, and as of late, they've started to heat up at the plate. They had 10-4 win against St. Leo, 10-0 win against Embry-Riddle, 15-3 win against Palm Beach,
14-3 on Tuesday
against Valdosta. And now today, the first game of this doubleheader, 10-3 advantage. Strike 1. Williams pulls back, was thinking of dropping another bunt on the ground.
You know, I don't think he really meant to even try to get that one down. I think he just wanted to see how they'd react. This, to me, is not really a bunt situation, other than third base is kind of back a little.
And even he is now playing a bit further in. That's going to miss inside. King goes to second. Safe.
That was kind of a delayed reaction at the plate. King was going, and then they just kind of nonchalantly threw it down to second.
You've seen that a couple of times for those stolen bases. The 4th time Tampa's gotten a steal today. Williams had one of the steals to bring his total to 50 for 2025.
School record for 52.
If he gets on here with a single that scores King, he'd have a chance to maybe tie the record right here. Swing and a miss, though. Completely folds at the inside breaking ball pitch. And Hernandez could escape what has not been the greatest of starts from the bullpen here with one more strike.
the 3 runs that scored all will get applied to Rubaugh.
And Hernandez has one earned thanks to Russo making it home on the King single. Into the gap, and that will drop for a base hit. A 2-out single for Williams. King in safely, and Tampa takes an 11-3 lead. Wax was there to prevent a double, but as you always say, Jack, Williams is an automatic double.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 6-run inning. Only 1 inning have the Spartans not scored today.
That was back in the 3rd, conversely, when Nova scored twice. First pitch, ball 1, and Williams stays put. Interesting to see him not jump in the first offering. A 1-0 count is a good pitch to run on. You're less likely for a pitch-out attempt. That's what I believe you might have been waiting for. Small lead for Williams. There he goes. 1-1, throw to second.
Again.
Not in time. Ball bounces away. And it's 51 for Jordan Williams. He's actually had 3 steal attempts today. 2 of them were successful. The other, he was safe, but it was a fielder's choice.
Yeah.
Because Saladino was out at second. I think if Saladino reached safely, though, it would have
been a double steal. Yeah.
It would have been the double steal.
Yep.
And that would have been the record-tying one. Ball 2 missing down and away.
Now, I'm looking at third base, and he is way off the bag. That might be a great time because he's got to get way over to the bag to take the throw. The best they can do is hope that Quevedo can hold him on the base and shorten the lead as much as they can.
And Quevedo does that this time. Of course, what that risks is they hit up the middle from Saladino, finding a ton of open pasture. Williams staying put.
There he goes.
There he goes, trying to get 52. Throw in.
Might have it.
And he is safe.
Oh, yeah.
He's avoided the tag. And with his 52nd stolen base, he has tied the single-season record. Although Urso, as I wonder if Williams was thinking with his stolen base earlier, if that was number 53.
Yeah, he maybe doesn't realize that he's only tied it.
Yeah, and that's what I think Urso was trying to signal real quick. And I wonder if there was a comment or something being made
about the...
Maybe about it. I think they were worrying if he was showboating a little too much. Urso was trying to say, no, that's a record. That's why he's celebrating.
Yeah.
2 strikes now. That did find the zone with the slider. Fouled away by Saladino. Only downside for Williams is he's not going to steal home for a record-breaking.
I don't think he's tried that at all this year anyway, and plus a lefty at bat, not conducive to trying to do that.
Yeah, the righty, weirdly enough, is good at holding a runner at third. The lefty is bad at holding a runner at third. Popped up, and that should land in the glove of the left fielder.
Nice catch.
Morata lost his head. He gained the ball. I think he'll think that's a fair trade. And while Williams ties the single-season stolen base record for the Spartans, he'll need to get on board one more time today to try to break it. Top of the 6th coming up. 11-3 Spartans lead. They put up a 6th spot in the bottom of the
cultures. There is a place where people go shoulder to shoulder instead of head to head, where opportunity doesn't knock, it pounds, and the grind and the grand happen side by side. There is a place at the heart of Comes next is for
Brand new inning underway. Q leading off. And that's strike one to start the inning. Gonzalez looking for a quality start as he now has an 8-run cushion on the mound. 6, 7, 8 due up. That's fouled away, 0-2. If you're just tuning in, we've got a new player atop the stolen base leaderboards, tied for first. Jordan Williams has recorded his 52nd stolen base of 2025. 1 and 2, missing just outside the queue. But pretty awesome stuff for Williams, the NCAA stolen base leader across D1, D2, and D3. At least according to Baseball Reference for qualified batters. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Gonzalez. And I will say it's going to be difficult for someone with under 100 at-bats to match that stolen base outcome. One away, and that's going to bring up Rodriguez.
You know, if somebody did for under 100 at-bats, that's the coach's fault for not playing that person more.
Agreed. Or maybe they just have too many walks. Down the left field line, that's well hit. And gone. See ya. Bad news for Gonzalez. No quality start today. Good news for Rodriguez. He gets Nova Southeastern back on the board. That's his 5th home run at 2025, taking the lead for the Sharks. And by lead, I mean home run lead. It's still Tampa by 7. That's Zeth Rodriguez's 4th home run of the year. I have to correct myself. He's now tied with Wax, Pena, and Moranta for the team lead. At the 30th home run in total for the Sharks. I think they might have more home runs this year than the Spartans. Yes, they do. Tampa only 27, counting their 2 home runs today. Ball 1 missing high from Gonzalez. Pena had a walk last time, and he's ready to go. Popped up. Carstetter tracking it. Battling the sun, and he wins the fight. 2 away. So Pena now 0 for 2. Another player who's had a couple of struggles so far is going to be the man on deck, Wax, because Rodriguez has been on fire. 2 for 2 today as he swings and misses for strike 1. This will probably be the final inning for Gonzalez. His pitch count is at 79. Here comes number 80. And number 80 will give him 6 innings of 4-run baseball. He is in line for another victory as Tampa leads by 7. If that's it for Gonzalez, a good rebound start today. And we are headed to the bottom of the 6th. Due up for the Spartans. 3.
side by side. There is a place at the heart of a city where inspiration arrives in quiet moments and possibilities ring out in concert with our past.
the final warm-up pitch as a new arm isn't on the mound. Hernandez resumes after going 2/3 of an inning and 27 pitches in the previous inning. He entered with the bases loaded, and a few runs came home. Here comes J.D. Urso to get us started. Doubled back in the fifth. He almost had a second at-bat in the inning. First pitch on the way to Urso. Line drive into the gap. And that's going to fall for a single. A leadoff base knock for Tampa's number 11. Saladino had 2 at-bats in the previous inning. Tampa was able to go all around the order. He started with a home run, ended with a flyout. Woodburn had a good at-bat last time, drew a walk. He remains 0 for 2. Urso with a lead. That's strike 1 in the inside corner. Urso is a stolen base threat. He likes to give it the old college try here and there to make it to second. He has been successful 7 of 8 times this year. He was unsuccessful a little bit earlier today, though. Or that's going to count 0-2. Actually, he wasn't unsuccessful earlier. It was Saladino unsuccessful. But he might be unsuccessful in this at-bat. Hernandez in the driver's seat. Ball 1. Hernandez comes from Miami, used to play at Miami. And I believe that's Miami, Florida University, because it doesn't specify Ohio like it would if he was playing in the MAC. And yes, he was at U-Miami in 2023-2024. He, however, missed a majority of the season with injury. That means that last year he was teammates with J.D. Urso, who he just gave up a single to. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets his first strikeout from the bullpen, 1 away. And that'll bring up Ashby. Ashby had his first ball in play this weekend with a bunt. He advanced the runners. He's still 0 for 0. He has walked, been hit by a pitch, and had that sacrifice. First pitch on the way from Hernandez to Ashby. Ball 1. There's a righty warming up in the Nova Southeastern bullpen. We'll see if the Sharks bring someone in for the 7th and 8th. Their bullpen will need to be ready for Game 2, which is going to happen later today, about 45 minutes after the first game. That's going to be 1-1. Slider hitting the zone. Beautiful day in the Tampa campus. Clouds in the sky. Nice kind of puffy ones floating by. Here comes the 1-1. There goes Urso. Swing and a miss by Ashby. Urso is out. 2 away. He gets caught out just by half a step. Good throw by Rodriguez, who's had a lot of action behind home plate in terms of throwing these base runners out. Second time he's caught a runner stealing, but there have also been 4 successful steals against him. Oh, 5, I believe, actually. Either way, Tampa's been very active on the base path. Can Ashby keep this inning going? The 1-2. Good take. Ball 2 outside. You know, there are a lot of fans here today. A couple of alumni, some young kids, and also some young players as well. Visiting today, Wesley Chapel Thunder Baseball was out on the field at the start of the game for the national anthem as Ashby is out of the plate, barely going around. A quick inning for Hernandez. Urso out on the base path. 1-2-3. And we're headed to the top of the 7th on the
There is something electrifying about a vibrant community of learning. providing new knowledge, reimagining teaching and learning, designing and reinventing the spaces where we learn, live, and work, attracting and inspiring the best students and faculty, engaging locally and globally. These are essential to creating tomorrow for UT and our world. A campaign causes us to state what we stand for. It propels us to envision the future and work diligently in new and exciting ways. It inspires supporters to believe in the long-term value of campaign priorities. It impacts the world we inhabit today while we're creating tomorrow.
We are deeply grateful that so many of you stand with us. Together, we are developing UT as a model metropolitan community of learning.
We are pleased you enjoy the satisfaction of investing in the lives of students. Your heartfelt commitment makes for an electrifying connection among all of us.
Creating Tomorrow has been a campaign committed to advancing UT's mission and vision for the future. Our focus, the people, places, and purpose of the university, has transformed the UT educational experience and created a legacy of excellence.
We are where we are today, one of the most exciting times in UT history, because you accepted our challenge. You have helped us transform.
Tampa makes their first call to the bullpen for the top of the seventh. But before we discuss Ethan Brown's 2025 season, I do want to continue the point from the previous inning. The Wesley Chapel Thunder baseball team has come to visit Tampa.
Yeah, before some of the starts of these games, some youth baseball teams tend to show up, full uniform, and they get to run out on the field with the Spartans players to start the ball game. Get to, if you're a pitcher on the team, you go to the mound, you find your respective position, you get to hear the national anthem being played, and then you run back. Quite a treat for these kids, and it was the Wesley Chapel Thunder Baseball Club on hand today.
But now, Jack, I'll hand it back over to you as we begin a new outing for Brown, who's looking to improve upon a 7.98 ERA. And, well, it's going to be a hit by pitch to start things out.
First pitch, an HBB. All right, so that puts the first man on. As that was Wax leading off the inning, we now move to Maranta. Went down hard trying to track down a ball in left field last inning and stayed down for a while, but stayed in the game and now is at the plate. First pitch from Brown is a ball. Playing Maranta pretty much straight away. Check swing, that'll be a strike. Don't think he checked it anyway. He tried, but 1-1 pitch. Ethan Brown out of the stretch. A little bit low. 2-1. Swing and a miss.
Did you ever play baseball, Jack?
Did I? Yes, a couple years in high school anyway, and then played a bunch of years in Madison, Wisconsin City League.
Yeah.
We were a pretty decent team. They have a really good program up there. Usually one of the teams we'd play against was University of Wisconsin baseball players who just wanted to play in the summer. They were not happy when we beat them one game.
Really?
Not happy at all.
I imagine they won't be.
We were playing in a tournament one time, and there were a couple scouts at the game, and they were basically checking out some of the Wisconsin players, and they came over and asked the ages of some of the guys on our team.
Oh, shit.
So we gave them the first couple ages, and he goes, all right, never mind. You guys are all too old.
Oh.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball. Takes a nice hop to Saladino, to Urso. The relay, double play. The 4-6-3 puts 2 outs on the board.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not fun to lose in front of scouts.
No. Yeah, we had a nice little team, just guys who like to play baseball. The other thing that they had up there that I really liked, and I've not seen it down here, is each of the outlying suburban communities had a baseball team in the summer, and they called it Home Talent League, and it was
So
really
people who just wanted
competitive.
to play for like fun.
Well, it's competitive, but
Okay.
each community, you'd probably have 15 to 20 different teams. And so
Wow.
if you lived in like Wesley Chapel, you had a Wesley Chapel Home Talent team. If you lived in Palm Harbor, you had a Palm Harbor team.
That's
I don't know if they
such a
could,
good way to keep everyone engaged.
and a lot of the high school players would play because that was something to do in the summer. A lot of them at high school played on American Legion ball in the summer, but guys who had played high school and want to continue competitive baseball. It was very competitive.
That's actually a very good way to keep everyone engaged in
Yeah,
society.
yeah.
And it also brings everyone together. Sports brings everyone
And
together.
the townsfolk would rally around their team. There'd be a lot of people at these games.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Most of our games were played in front of wives and girlfriends, but that was about it.
I think Tampa has a hockey league like that. I think it's called Beer League, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
beer league hockey,
Yeah.
similar. It was beer league baseball.
Yeah. I have a couple friends who play in that.
Soccer teams throughout Europe and England.
Okay. No, just because you get out of high school or get out of college doesn't mean you should stop playing sports recreationally.
It can always be a hobby.
Keeps you in shape, keeps you involved in your community. This is Torty at the plate now. 2 outs, man on first on another walk. Ball outside. 11-4, Tampa on top here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 outs, a 1-1 count, man on first. Ball just missing outside, goes to 2-1. Torty today grounded out, walked, grounded out. And Garavito with a quick trot out to the mound.
Not getting a run here could be troublesome because after this they'll have only 2 more innings left.
Yes.
To score, and against Spartans defense like that, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely. Tampa will find so many ways to score. So the one thing you don't want to do is make it easier on them.
Definitely.
Ball just missing. A couple finals already in this afternoon. A couple of these games started at noon. It was Lynn beating Palm Beach Atlantic 9-3, and Rollins an 8-0 winner over Barry. Swing and a miss, 3-2. We'll keep an eye on the Florida Southern at St. Leo game they're playing right now. Ground ball, runner goes out to Saladino at second. Toss across will end the inning. Nothing across for Nova Southeastern. We've played 6.5. It's time to get up and stretch as the Spartans hold on to an 11-4 lead.
There is something electrifying about a vibrant community of learning. Providing new knowledge, reimagining teaching and learning, designing and reinventing the spaces where we learn, live, and work, attracting and inspiring the best students and faculty, engaging locally and globally. These are essential to creating tomorrow for UT and our world. A campaign causes us to state what we stand for. It propels us to envision the future and work diligently in new and exciting ways. It inspires supporters to believe in the long-term value of campaign priorities. It impacts the world we inhabit today while we're creating tomorrow.
We are deeply grateful that so many of you stand with us. Together, we are developing UT as a model metropolitan community of learning.
We are pleased you enjoy the satisfaction of investing in the lives of students. Your heartfelt commitment makes for an electrifying connection among all of us.
Creating Tomorrow has been a campaign committed to advancing UT's mission and vision for the future. Our focus, people, places, and purpose of the university, has transformed the UT educational experience and created a legacy of excellence.
We are where we are today, one of the most exciting times in UT history, because you accepted our challenge. You have helped us transform UT from a local treasure with potential to a prominent national.
Bottom of the 7th we go. Everybody had a chance to stretch. Spartans up 11-4. By the way, Florida Southern is at St. Leo. That game is 7-7 in the top of the 8th inning. That is at St. Leo. Leading off for the Spartans is Garavito. Spartans put up 6 in the 5th, nothing last inning. See what they can do here in the 8th, in bottom of the 7th, I should say.
All of these games have had one score in each inning. The second or third and 6th innings didn't see Tampa score, but Nova combined for 3 runs in those.
Garavito watches one sail outside, 1-1.
The Sharks would love for Hernandez just to keep doing good from the bullpen. Conceded a hit, but had Urso caught stealing to make it a 1-2-3 inning.
Down the middle but low, 2-1. Spartans are home next weekend. Come on out here Friday night. It's alumni night, as the Spartans will host Rollins. Single game Friday night, doubleheader on Saturday, as the usual. We've seen some alums hanging around today and yesterday as well. Ball outside, it gets a walk. E.J. Doskow sitting in with me yesterday, and a few of the alums probably at yesterday's game, including E.J., because they're heading off to some summer baseball soon. EJ's going to Colorado, I think he said.
I know some of the other Spartans.
No, he said Lexington. I guess he was heading to Kentucky.
Makes sense, because I know there are more Eastern summer leagues, I think, for baseball than out West, I know. You know, Florida's got a few of them. I know Tampa usually have people participating in the Cape Cod League.
Right.
I know the last couple of years we've had our own Shane Patania covering the Cape Cod League.
Yeah.
I know he's currently covering the action actually at Amalie Arena for the Final Four.
Basketball. Who's he covering it for? The Times or
probably, or at least just Tampa in general.
Okay. Popped up, right center, coming in is Wax. Makes the catch for the first out.
And of course, Chris Sperber, who does a ton of Tampa events, getting the season started in Clearwater with the Threshers.
Yes. Josh Sperber?
Oh, Josh Sperber.
Josh.
Did I say the first name wrong?
Chris, you were close.
Yeah. I was thinking of Clearwater.
Yes.
I got like the H right. I got the S right. I didn't get the I, C, or H, whatever. I missed the J and L.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Josh, one of the good guys. It's his 3rd season doing Clearwater Threshers game. He's done some Spartan softball, Spartan volleyball. Sat in with me on a basketball game this year.
Had a blast covering a lot of the regional play and conference play for volleyball. Hopefully Coach Kadnak's side has a slightly stronger 2025. I think they barely lost out in the final. No, it was regional play. I think they lost out this year.
Ball outside to Russo.
It was Lynn who take on the Spartans in lacrosse today, as they currently trail 2-1, who was dominant in volleyball last year. They had an incredible year being singular conference champions, I believe. So yeah, stellar season there from the Fighting Knights.
1-1. Down low. 2-1. We'll probably have to hit a Threshers game this year and say hi to Josh and listen to him.
Maybe got to find the $1 hot dog nights again. very good deal. Had a handful of them when we went together
you
last
came back
year.
with like 11 of them, didn't you?
Not that many.
No? Oh, okay.
But if I'm really hungry, that's the number I might try. Maybe try to match the Spartans' run tally.
Scott Lynn joined us last year, who did games with both of us over the years. He's had a bad back, and he said he can't sit. He has to either lay down or stand up, and he might need surgery.
I've had back surgery before. Not the most pleasant thing to recover from. Although for mine, it was scoliosis rather than just back pain.
Okay. Two and two with one out, man on. Russo looks at that one, gets called out on strikes. Kind of stands there like, I'll give you a chance to retract your call, sir. He's not.
You know what they say. You know, Bruce Wozniak likes to say, you can't argue with City Hall.
I set you up for that one every game.
Hit it out of the park every single time, much to the chagrin of my father. Hey, Dad. Every single game tells me not to say it.
Did not say it, huh? And
guess what I still do?
I bait you into it every time. Maddox King at the plate now. Ground ball out to third. Torty goes to second for the force out to end the inning. So we played 7 full. It's 11-4. Tampa on top. We'll head to the 8th. Right.
There is something electrifying about a vibrant community of learning. Providing new knowledge, reimagining teaching and learning, designing and reinventing the spaces where we learn, live, and work, attracting and inspiring the best students and faculty, engaging locally and globally. These are essential to creating tomorrow for UT and our world. A campaign causes us to state what we stand for. It propels us to envision the future and work diligently in new and exciting ways. It inspires supporters to believe in the long-term value of campaign priorities. It impacts the world we inhabit today while we're creating tomorrow.
We are deeply grateful that so many of you stand with us. Together, we are developing UT as a model metropolitan community of learning.
We are pleased you enjoy the satisfaction of investing in the lives of students. Your heartfelt commitment makes for an electrifying connection among all of us.
Creating Tomorrow has been a campaign committed to advancing UT's mission and vision for the future. Our focus, the people, places, and purpose of the university, has transformed the UT educational experience and created a legacy of excellence.
We are where we are today, one of the most exciting times in UT history, because you accepted our challenge. You have helped us transform UT from a local treasure with potential to a prominent national figure on the educational scene.
On behalf of our campaign leadership team,
Probably here.
Until when Saladino starts to migrate. We head to the 8th inning of an 11-4 game. Spartans making a pitching change again, bringing in Michael Alfonso, who is a sophomore from Key West, Florida.
Now the warm-up concluded. Tampa's closer, I think he might be looking for a 6-out no save because Tampa leads by 7. But so far this season, a 2.16 ERA, 14 strikeouts over 16 2/3 innings. And he's had 5 saves this season.
First pitch is a ball. At the plate is Esquivel. Ground ball foul toward the Spartan dugout.
Alfonso's recovered from injury really well this season, becoming a true high-arm bullpen arm for Tampa. And as a sophomore, he's got a couple more years to potentially shine in that role.
Nice off-speed. Carstetter at third. Nice throw across to Russo for the out. Russo puts his foot back on the bag just to make sure. 1 up, 1 down.
Going
Good idea to bring him up here, sort of the back end of the heart of the order. Q, a dangerous batter. Esquivel, who just grounded out, a dangerous batter. And Rodriguez, who just went yard in his last at-bat against Gonzalez, also dangerous.
They have 4 hits in their bottom 4 players. Highlighted by Rodriguez, as you mentioned, with 2 of those hits. Oh, off the kneecap. Wow. Oh, you could hear that up here. And Q is down. Nothing to protect him there.
Love that Garavito's able to help him up, but
yeah,
I mean, he wasn't wearing any padding on the knees and
No.
the legs. That is just very unlucky, because sometimes, you'll have the gear that's kind of protecting your shin, protecting the foot, the ankle, and the knee, but that's directly onto the kneecap. That is hopefully nothing serious, but even if it isn't, that stings for a while.
It's going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah, and maybe the next day.
That's just right on bone.
I think unsurprisingly, they're going to have to go with a pinch runner here. Even if Q is okay to go in game 2, I think that's a good idea just to give him the rest here.
The only thing that struck me as odd there is I think he assumed he was going to get hit, and he didn't make a huge move to get out of the way, but I don't think he anticipated it being the kneecap. Thought maybe he was going to be the thigh.
Same here as now.
Batters nowadays are willing to just kind of give you a little glance, but not. I mean, I'd bail out and be on my back if it was anywhere close to me.
Yeah, same here. That's why I stopped playing baseball. Not because of my back surgery, because of fear of the baseball.
Yeah.
You know that firsthand for me in the booth.
Yes. Yes. Nice off-speed pitch, fouled off.
You could tell that landed right on Garavito's foot.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's where the ankle padding as a catcher comes in handy. Otherwise, that would have felt like a stub toe, and probably not ideal.
Strike call down the middle. This is Zeth Rodriguez. Batting ninth in the order is number 34, Nick Rodriguez. Nick is the catcher. Oh-2. Good block by Garavito. Keeps the runner there. That is a pinch runner. It's number 29, Joel Cabrera.
Quick, take a guess where he's from.
Miami. He's a freshman, though, so right out of high school to here.
Part of the... It's where you basically flip a coin, and half the time it's heads, it'll be a Miami player. The other time, you flip again, if it's heads, it's a Miami player.
That one slipped through Garavito's legs, allows the runner to go to second. We'll see if Cabrera stays in the lineup, replacing Esquivel, who took one off the kneecap. Actually, it wasn't Esquivel. It was
Q.
Q.
Q is also from Florida, but a little bit north of Miami.
Okay. A little bit low. So 2-2 now. 3-2 actually. Full count after going up 0-2. Alfonso fires. And he didn't go around. A walk. So he went ahead 0-2 and then lost him on 4 pitches. Runners now at first and second.
That's going to open up a double play opportunity here for the Spartans. Wondered though if Pena can keep it in the air. He's had 2 of the 3 true outcomes and a strikeout and a walk.
Horace Pena, a 6'4" shortstop. Alfonso fires. Looks like on the corner, yes. Oh, 1 swing and a miss. Took something off of that. Up 0-2 now. 0-2. Just missing outside. One ball, two strikes. Pounds it down the middle and gets the strikeout. Second out of the inning. Runners still at first and second. And to the plate comes Nick Rodriguez. At first base is Zeth Rodriguez. And he hits that one out into center field. Maddox King drifting back. Waits, though, has it in his sights and hauls it in to end the inning. So they put on two. None of them score. We've played 7.5, and it's still Tampa 11, Nova Southeastern 4 right.
There is something electrifying about a vibrant community of learning. Providing new knowledge, reimagining teaching and learning, designing and reinventing the spaces where we learn, live, and work, attracting and inspiring the best students and faculty, engaging locally and globally. These are essential to creating tomorrow for UT and our world. A campaign causes us to state what we stand for. It propels us to envision the future and work diligently in new and exciting ways. It inspires supporters to believe in the long-term value of campaign priorities. It impacts the world we inhabit today while we're creating tomorrow.
We are deeply grateful that so many of you stand with us. Together, we are developing UT as a model metropolitan community of learning.
We are pleased you enjoy the satisfaction of investing in the lives of students. Your heartfelt commitment makes for an electrifying connection among all of us.
Creating Tomorrow has been a campaign committed to advancing UT's mission and vision for the future. Our focus, the people, places, and purpose of the university, has transformed the UT educational experience and created a legacy of excellence.
We are where we are today, one of the most exciting times in UT history, because you accepted our challenge. You have helped us transform UT from a local treasure with potential to a...
Okay, Raj, I'm ready. Bottom of the eighth we go. The Spartans will send up. Let me make a switch back here. I was looking at the Florida Southern St. Leo game now in the top of the ninth, and it's still 7-7. But here we will have, should be Jordan Williams coming to the plate. But it looks like a pinch hitter coming up. Griffith, I think, is getting ready to come up.
You might as well
Jake
try
Griffith. Jake Griffith coming in. He will also then go in to play left field at the end of the inning.
A little disappointing to see Williams resting until game two. Won't have a chance to challenge the stolen base record yet.
You know, I think that might not go over well if he were to get on and try to steal with an 11-4 lead in the...
Yeah, that also makes a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's sportsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
You keep running if it's the fifth or sixth, but eighth, maybe not. Griffith pops it up, giving chases the third baseman, Torty, but it goes foul. Plus it gives Williams a little bit longer to rest, get him out of the sun, get him in the dugout, and gives Jake Griffith a chance to get some at-bats. And he lines one. Oh, snagging it out of the air is Esquivel at first base. Just not hit sharp enough to get away.
That reminds me of like a catching animation from the Power Pros baseball video games, where you just hit triangle on the PlayStation controller. Guy leaps up and makes a beautiful catch. That's exactly what he did.
It was
Ranged
almost
over.
Slow motion by the hit and the play and the movement.
Yeah, beautiful job there to get that. Probably the highlight defensive play of the game.
Jake Turr now coming into as a pinch hitter. Turr is a freshman from Tampa, went to Wharton High School.
And not as many Tampa players on the Tampa team, but we do recruit a lot of local Tampa kids, though.
Yep, Tampa area. A good baseball hotbed.
We don't, surprisingly as well, bring too many USF players over here, too.
No. They tend to transfer in here from Florida State, Miami.
Yep.
UCF.
Or Arizona State.
Oh, yes.
If you're Kevin Karstedt.
I know people have wondered out loud what a USF Tampa game would look like. I would think that's a game USF does not want to match up with. A couple of years ago, the men's basketball team played a preseason exhibition game over at USF in the Dome. USF won by about 20. 3-0 count. Tur will get an automatic walk. Heads down to first on 4 pitches.
They definitely respect the bat of Tur, who is hitting .500 at that point. Now he gets his first walk of the season.
And this will be another pinch hitter, but first I think we're going to have a pitching change. Yes, coming in from the bullpen. I don't think it's your 6'6" person you were hoping for.
No, it's a righty.
I heard him say 41. Christopher Perez.
No, he's 6'4", so close enough.
We'll let him warm up. Raj, we're going to take a break as we have a pitching change. Tampa up 11-4. Run first with...
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since
Okay, Raj. All right, the pitching change has been made. Christopher Perez coming in to pitch.
Perez has had a good season so far in terms of strikeouts, 16 over 16 innings.
And I believe we have a pinch hitter. It looks like Joe Stella, number 9. So we'll have some wholesale defensive changes after this inning, after this at-bat.
Stella's hitting .412 in 17 at-bats. Has 2 doubles and a home run, too. And he's drawn 7 walks.
So he knows how to get on base. Here's the pitch. Outside. 1-1. Man on first is Turer, who got on with a 4-pitch walk. That's outside. Stella is from Pennsylvania, went to Georgetown before coming here. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Off speed, stays high. Full count. Another pinch hitter waiting on deck is Drake Harmon, a junior from Lithia, Florida. Ground ball. Oh, no, a line shot, actually. And they do not get the double play. That time a leaping Torty made the catch before it went into the outfield.
And a leaping Esquivel prevented that throw from advancing Turr after it had gone pretty high and away.
So Drake Harmon now to the plate. 2 outs, lefty at the plate. Perez to Harmon. Ball outside. Slaps at that one, fouls it off. Lenny Ashby hoping to get one more at bat today. He's in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, with the platoon outfielders, Tampa usually likes to keep them in the game when they bring on pinch hitters, just to get them that extra experience.
Swing and a miss. Actually might have fouled that one off. Regardless, it's strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, a man on first. Ball high, 2-2. When the Sharks come to bat next inning, it'll be the top of the order. Wax, Baranta, Gravedo. Strike 3 call. Harmon gets a called strike, caught looking. We'll head to the top of the 9th. Tampa leading 11-4.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations.
Okay, Raj. Top of the 9th, Spartans up 11-4. Florida Southern has now taken a 10-7 lead over St. Leo in the top of the 9th as they are trying to keep pace one game behind the Spartans. Leading off for Nova Southeastern is going to be Wax, and he sees when that's a pinch hitter actually for Wax. First pitch went sailing over his head. It is Stinson in as the pinch hitter.
Good job by Stinson to get out of the way because that one missed.
And he slaps a base hit through the shortens third base anyway.
Oh, it looks like Karstetter might have moved to second here for this inning. Bruce is at first, Graham at short, Turr at third, Griffith, King, Ashby in the outfield.
And another pinch hitter coming up. This is Degatti, who played third base yesterday. Ground ball foul.
He's had 19 starts, 237, 308, 441. Definitely more of a power fly ball hitter than a on-base guy.
Wouldn't be surprised he'll be back at third, or at least in the starting lineup after this game.
I imagine they might want to keep shuffling things around. Maybe see Richard Benitez or actually a couple other people just, like you said, returning.
1-1 pitch. Low in the dirt. Alfonso in the stretch. Taps it foul. Degatti does.
I think that might be the splitter by Alfonso that's getting by him just a little bit early. You don't see that too often here in D2, I think.
2-2 pitch. Slapped out toward shortstop. Fielding it is Graham. Throw is not going to get there. He was deep in the hole. That would have been an amazing play if he'd have gotten it over there and gunned it. Russo actually had to come off the bag to get it anyway, but it's probably going down as a hit. Runners at first and second now with nobody out here in the ninth.
Kind of bobbled as he picked it up as well. But it was a smart hesitation. It eventually does make the throw, but in a situation like that, you don't want to try to rush something and have it get away. You'd rather keep the force out and open at third.
Yes.
I think we might have a final score update from the Mocs and St. Leo game.
I'm still showing top ninth.
Actually, it looks like St. Leo did lose 10-7.
Okay. Mine hasn't been updating that quickly.
Or they're currently losing 10-7 at least, unless something did change.
One. This is Benitez, another pinch hitter. Ball hit up to Karstetter at second, gets one. The relay in time. Spartans turn to 4-6-3, get 2 outs. Runner does go to third. So one more out, put this one in the books.
This is exactly what Alfonso has wanted the entire game so far. He had those first couple grounders. They both were hits. One splitting the hole, one just too hard for Graham to make the throw. That time got it right to Karstetter for the double play.
And this is another pinch hitter coming in. And it is Matthew Corpus. Fly ball heading out towards center. That's Maddox King. Ball game. Spartans win at 11-4 is the final. Skylar Gonzalez picking up the win, going 6 solid innings. He is now 4-1 on the year. Tampa now 12-2 in conference play, 28-6 overall. Nova Southeastern now even in the standings at 7-7, but fall below 500 overall at 14-15. So the Spartans with 11 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Nova Southeastern 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. And Taylor will see how the Spartans do with the chance to sweep the series.
I imagine it'll be the lefty Jake Stipp with a chance to try to go the distance again for you, Tampa, as the Spartans look to take the sweep and stay in front of conference play. And if they want to try to win the regular season title, they're going to have to stay this strong because the Mocs look to be closing out a win against St. Leo.
All right, we'll be back about 45 minutes before the next game. I know it's scheduled at 4, but it's already 3:30-ish, so expect the game will start around, well, it's actually 3:52, so expect the game to start around 4:30, maybe a little bit later than that. So for Raj running the board, Taylor Stolworthy sitting next to me, this is Jack Ike saying thanks for joining us. We'll be back with Game 3 of this weekend series